Hello, welcome back to How About That Crypto. You are watching daily crypto news and updates with your host, Bitcoin Stylist on Twitter and Bitcoin Hairstylist on Instagram. I am here Monday through Friday, and I explain crypto and Web3 while keeping you up to date on all the latest. Today's news stories are: another crypto hater warms up to crypto. Janet Yellen has a new tone and approach. Are we seeing capitulation? And Fashion Week makes it to the Metaverse and kicked off yesterday. What does all this mean? Not to worry, I'll explain it all. But first, if you like the content or you don't like the content, please let me know by leaving a comment below. If you're listening on podcast, please give me 5 stars and follow me. If you're watching on YouTube, please smash the subscribe button and ring the bell. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Just to be clear and litigious, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can use the links below to do your own research. My prayers continue to go out to the Ukrainian people and all those affected by this war. Hopefully this is over sooner than later. I hope you all had a great weekend. I'm sure if you were paying attention to the news, you saw some tough talk by Biden on Ukraine. Let's see how all this plays out. These are crazy times we are in, and I pray for better times to come for all. So, as I mentioned last week, the news I report is focused on risk as a crypto investor and the adoption of crypto. I do not believe that there is adoption risk, as in I do not believe that crypto will not be adopted. As in, AKA, I believe crypto adoption is already here. We're already seeing it. And I do believe that no one knows which coins and which networks will be successful and which ones will lose to their competitors. You know, is Ethereum going to be around for a long time? Is Cardano going to take over? Is Solana going to be the big winner? Or is there going to be another L1? Or are there going to be multiple layer 1 networks? And we will see, but I don't think its adoption is any issue. Crypto is here and it's being adopted more and more. The only risk I see is regulatory, and I have mentioned in the past the biggest public figures that I believe are the biggest crypto haters are, and this is in order. So tell me what you think. Elizabeth Warren, number 1. Jamie Dimon, number 2. Gary Gensler, number 3. Janet Yellen, number 4. And in order, 1 is a senator, 1 heads up the largest investment bank by market cap in the world, 1 is the head of the SEC, and 1 is the Treasury Secretary of the USA. These are powerful people, and their opposition poses a threat to the entire crypto industry. Well, I have something so incredible that you have to see it. And if you're listening on podcasts, you have to hear it to believe it. So I'm just going to share my screen so I can play this little clip for you. Are you ready? Let me turn it up. Bam.
We get through an interview without asking about crypto, but in particular, Russia just said that they would accept Bitcoin as a payment for their energy resources. What does that say to you about where we are in the crypto conversation?
Well, crypto is obviously grown by leaps and bounds, and
sorry. So this is Andrew Ross Sorkin. He's with CNBC, and he also wrote Too Big to Fail. And he's sitting with Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary of the U.S. He starts off by saying, hey, I got to ask you what you think about crypto. And what do you think about the fact that Russia said they'll take crypto for payments? And this is what she has to say.
Obviously grown by leaps and bounds, and it's now playing a significant role, not really so much in transactions,
right,
but in investment decisions of lots of Americans. And the president just issued a couple of weeks ago an executive order tasking us and other agencies with thinking about the regulation of crypto.
I mean, you're less skeptical about it than in previous. I mean, we've been talking about it together for a long time now, and I think you've had a skepticism about crypto technology.
I have a little bit of skepticism because there are, I think, valid concerns around it. Some have to do with financial stability, consumer investor protection, use for illicit transactions, and other things.
Right.
On the other hand, there are benefits from crypto, and we recognize that innovation in the payment system can be a healthy thing. We would like to come out eventually with recommendations that will create a regulatory environment in which healthy innovation
and then finally, cyber is the one.
Okay, what do you think about that? Oh my gosh, this is so huge. Okay, so this is a very different from her previous statements. She said people use it for insidious reasons. She pushed to get the travel rule into the first infrastructure bill, which is a de facto ban on crypto. This rule is broad and says that each person involved in the transaction line has to participate in KYC and AML. In other words, if I have a Bitcoin mining machine in my basement, it runs on its own, participating in the network. I just plug it in, check on it to make sure it's working, but that is mostly it. I do not know all of the people that the machine is helping to process transactions, but I could be considered committing a felony if I do not collect your social security number, your driver's license, your passports. It's insane. It's not realistic. It's obviously created in a way where by people who don't quite understand the whole process. Well, it sounds like she's learning. It sounds like the executive order that said, y'all got to do some research and figure this thing out, work together. Sounds like maybe she's kind of learning. She's starting to listen, open up her mind a little bit. Now, this portion of the infrastructure bill still needs to be amended to protect miners. And they're just helping secure the network and process transactions. But anyways, Janet Yellen's tone in this video puts a really big smile on my face. Think about it. She said that she's being open. She is like, let's play that last bit, that last little piece there.
With recommendations that will create a regulatory environment in which healthy innovation
and then finally
thrive.
So she's like, hey, like the payment system can be innovated, like we recognize that, and we're going to create a healthy regulatory environment which innovation can prosper. Boom. I think that this is super bullish. What do you think? And I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and I'm going to keep moving on. But this is this is almost as big a news as last week's story about ExxonMobil being involved in it. Goldman Sachs is now trading options, and Russia saying that they can take Bitcoin for oil and gas. Now, let's move on to this next story. Okay, so that's all the regulatory people stuff. And this next story, I think, is like really big deal. And I'll tell you why in a second. Author Cameron Thompson reports for CoinDesk, Metaverse Fashion Week, 70 brands do their best to showcase style in Decentraland. Estee Lauder, Dolce & Gabbana, Forever 21, and more are participating in the virtual fashion experience. Starting yesterday, fashion shows, galleries, and brand-hosted panels popped up in the fashion district inside Decentraland. Virtual real estate company Metaverse Group purchased a 6,000 square foot plot in November for $2.4 million. And I got a little tweet here from Selfridges. Selfridges is the most amazing department store in London that I've ever been in. It's got the dopest brands. It's got a pretty good selection, surprisingly, because I tend to have a problem. Obviously, my fashion of choice is all black. At work, I wear short sleeve collared shirts, buttoned up, and black slacks. But there was once upon a time that I was super obsessed with fashion and shopping, and this place was amazing. And I'm sure it still is. It's just been a while. So check this out. Selfridges says the first meta department store in the history of Web3, and anybody could visit. Interact as a guest or attach your crypto wallet to access all the features. You might even recognize a friendly face at the door. So I think that this is pretty amazing. What do you think? Like Selfridges is, I mean, they are massive in the middle of London. And I have another little, like these last two paragraphs. I just want to read them to you. The author does a good job in explaining this. By visiting the website, connecting on an Ethereum wallet, or simply playing as a guest, anyone can experience Metaverse Fashion Week. The site provides coordinates to different corners of the neighborhood where users can experience the virtual event. There are galleries and shows, as well as places for purchasing digital wearables. NFT natives are jumping in too, Hamilton said. NFT marketplace Rarible will host a pop-up shop called Rarible Street, but Boson Protocol, which purchased a plot of land last June to create a metaverse shopping mall, has built a boulevard of stores for brands to sell their wearables. So, what do you think? I think that this is super amazing. And I also think that if you're like in the fashion business, like think about it. If you're interested in fashion, business and marketing of fashion, marketing in general, NFT or the metaverse, you'd probably want to be here for these experiences, or at least dive a little deeper into this stuff. I would say hashtag mass adoption. You got big brands, you got free shows and events, and there's also opportunities to shop for stuff inside the metaverse. Now, I don't know how successful and how many people are going to get in there. So I'll keep an eye on this, and I'll be reporting on it maybe next week when we get some updates at the conclusion of it. We'll jump back on to this story. But anyway, what do you think? We got Janet Yellen, crypto hater number 2. No, I put her on number 4. Crypto hater number 4, and but also the U.S. Treasury Secretary, super important person in the country when it comes to decision making about financial stuff. And crypto is a financial product, even though it's also a technological product. So her tone has changed. What do you think about that? I think it's pretty amazing. What do you tell me what you think? And then what do you think about this Fashion Week thing and all these different brands, big names are getting involved? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Huddle on.